professionalism.
Hello and welcome to Arrive Alive program with me, your host, Wamba Weyeke. We are looking at road safety in Zambia, and today we are specifically looking at motorbikes and cyclists' safety and traffic laws. I'm joined in the studio by Mr. Jolwempande, Assistant Director, Traffic Desk. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much, Wamba. Thank you to the viewers.
And on my far right is Mr. Roy Havalu from RATSA. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay. First things first, Mr. Havalu, what specific road safety regulations that exist in Zambia for motorbike riders and cyclists, and how strictly are they enforced?
Well, thank you very much. Like for motor vehicles, it's the same for motorbikes, except now this is a new phenomenon in this country. I think we haven't seen such an increased number of volume in terms of motorbikes that are applying our public roads. But this is a concern that the agency is dealing with it. So for you to be able to ride a motorbike, you need to have a license, which is Class A. So you go through the same process. You get your medicals, you go to do a theory test. After a theory test, you go for a practical test. Now, the only difference is that for motor vehicles, they are given days, but for a motorbike, you can go at each, from Monday to Friday, they do the test of motor vehicles. So you must be a licensed holder of a valid driver license or a rider's license, which is Class A for a motorbike. Number two, the motorbike itself must be registered. It also has a number plate. Why? Because it also pays road tax. It also has to be examined for what is called the motor vehicle, a biker's examination. We need to know that the motorbike that you are using is fit to be on the road, because not all motorbikes are supposed to be on the road, and it has to be given a certain GVM in accordance with the gross volume mass of that particular a motorbike. So it is not any other person. You must be licensed, you must be examined for you to be fit to use a motorbike.
Okay. Mr. Mpande, what are the common causes of motorbike and cyclists?
Okay, there is quite a
bicycle-related accidents in urban areas.
There's quite a number of causes that we can outline here, Omba, but allow me to maybe quickly talk about the prevalent ones, maybe 4 or 5 of them. The first one, obviously, it is going to be a lack of lane discipline. Now, when we talk about lane discipline, Wamba, this does not only affect vehicles, but it also affects cyclists and motorbike riders. For cyclists, lane discipline is knowing which side of the road they are supposed to cycle from. Okay, so for a cyclist, they are also part of traffic. Remember, road traffic is not just about vehicles. Even animals, when they are on the road, they are part of traffic as well. Even wheelbarrow pushers are part of traffic. So cyclists are also part of traffic, and they must cycle on the left side of the road at all times, okay? When it comes to lane discipline for motorbike riders, I'll give an example of on a dual carriageway. Section 173 of the Road Traffic Act clearly states that a slower moving vehicle must drive or ride on the outer lane, not on the inner lane. So you find that some motorbike riders that are slow ride in the inner lane, which is supposed to be a lane for fast-moving traffic. Now, this causes other road users to be agitated, and some of them now become aggressive, and they start aggressive driving towards those motorcycle riders, and then they are hit from the back because they start to be tailgated. Tailgated is when somebody is driving too close to you. So the first one is lane discipline. Motorcycle riders need to know which side of the lane they should use when they are driving to avoid being involved in road traffic crashes associated with lack of lane discipline. The other one is inexperienced riders. Now, like Roy said, a motorcycle or a motorbike, when you buy it, you don't just buy it and start driving. You need to have a license. And for you to have a license, there are things that are going to be taught at RTSA, like the 10 basic rules of driving. When you know that, they're going to enhance your safety on the road. So inexperienced or unlicensed riders is what is causing some of the road traffic crashes involving motorbike riders, because they have not been to RTSA to get a license. They have not been told about the 10 basic rules and any other rules that relate to motorcycle riders. The other one is failing to visibility. when you look at visibility, as a motorcycle rider and a cyclist, it's imperative that you are visible on the road. Now, most motorcycle riders, even when they're riding during the day, don't switch on their headlamp. At all times, when a rider is riding, they must switch on their headlamp, even during the day, even at 12 hours. Why is that important, Omba? So that their visibility is enhanced, because other road users need to notice their presence on the road. Apart from just having the headlamp on, they should also wear protective and reflective jackets. Now, these reflective clothing or jackets are very, very important because they will also enhance their visibility. And another one, Womba, is lack of motorcycle riders and cyclists following traffic rules and regulations. Most riders think they are not supposed to follow the traffic rules and regulations. Like if you look at traffic lights, some of them don't want to stop when it's red. They want to meander and cross, which is very, very dangerous for them, because if it's red, it means all traffic, motorcycle riders, cyclists as well, must stop to give chance to the other side where it's green. Now, failing to obey these traffic rules and regulations also has caused a lot of road traffic crashes involving motorcycle and cyclists, Omba.
Okay. Mr. Habalu, are there mandatory safety requirements for motorcyclists, such as wearing helmets and reflective gear?
Well, thank you very much. Just to pick up from where my brother has left it, you are not supposed to be riding a motorbike without a protective helmet. That is meant for your safety. In an event of a crash, when you land and you fall, because you're at a higher speed, chances of you getting injured and dying if you're not in a helmet are over 50%. But if you're in a helmet, those risks are reduced by another 50%. So it is a requirement. It's actually by law that you don't ride without a helmet. Number two, like he said, you need to have protective gear. Now, protective gear is not just any color. It must be reflective. You must be seen from very far away for other people to see you and to recognize you as part of the users of the road. Why am I saying so? It's because, you know, the motorbike is very small. People have got difficulties in terms of seeing. Our eyesight is not as good as everyone else. Others have got problems, so they might not be seeing you. But if you're in a protective and reflective gear, I'm going to see you from very far away. That's why even for those people that go jogging in the morning, it is highly advisable that you run on the side of the road, jog on the side of the road, but be in a reflective attire where people are going to see you from very far away. You must also wear protective shoes. You can't wear the shoes I'm wearing and ride the bike. No, no, no. In case of an injury, chances of you getting hurt in case of a crash are very high. Okay? So you also need to ensure that your motorbike is registered. Registration, I remember a year or two, there was a complaint for people who were domiciled in border areas. We were saying, no, there's no people who are coming here, we don't have the regulations. I remember ZRA in conjunction with the RTSA, they gave an amnesty to say we are not going to make you go through the necessary processes, but at least we are going to streamline some of the regulations so that you register. And that worked very well. The idea is to account for each and every person that is on the road in an event of a crash. Because if the motor vehicle is not registered, we don't know where to start from. If it's stolen, you lose out completely. The police will have nowhere to start from.
Are there penalties for non-compliance?
Yes, non-registration, it is finable. You can actually be prosecuted because you are using a public road and you are using a vehicle or you are using a motorbike that is unknown. As far as we are concerned, we don't know whether it's a stolen motorbike. Maybe it is wanted in other countries. Maybe it is involved in criminal activities. That's why Interpol come in now. They are going to say, okay, this is clear. There's no one who's complaining about it. No one has reported about it. So if you don't do that, those are prosecutable offenses. No two ways about it.
Yeah, Mr. Mpande, how frequently do you observe unsafe practices by motorbike riders and cyclists, such as reckless riding or ignoring traffic signals?
Very frequent, Womba. And also in addition to what Roy said, it's also important we note, Womba, that Section 181, subsection 3, clearly also stipulates that the number of persons or individuals to be on a motorbike is only 2, meaning the rider and one more pillion who is a passenger on that motorbike. But we've noticed that most times you find in some places on a motorbike there is 5 people. Someone is even sitting in front of the rider. You know, there will be 3 at the back, and then even in front of the rider, there's maybe 1 more person, which is, again, another offense when you go to Section 181, subsection 5. All right, so it's important that motorcycle riders know that they can only carry 1 person at a time. It is for their own safety. And being a rider myself, Wamba, when you are riding, you need to balance. So even the weight that you carry on your motorcycle affects your stability on the road. So if you carry more than 1 person, your stability on that motorbike is not going to be guaranteed, and you might end up finding yourself in a road traffic crash. Now, coming to your question, I think literally every road that you go to, especially here in Lusaka, you find that you're going to see a lot of motorcycle riders committing various offenses, like from carrying more than 1 person to carrying a person without a reflective jacket, like Roy said, or carrying a person without a reflective and a helmet, which is a requirement by law. So basically, we've seen so much of, for lack of better word, allow me to say, lawlessness. And some people have complained about the number of these motorcycle riders not following traffic rules and regulations. Now, I was driving here today when I was coming, and I noticed that at pedestrian crossings, some motorcycle riders don't want to stop. They are also required to stop just like a motor vehicle. You need to stop at a pedestrian crossing and allow pedestrians as well to have access to that road, to cross the road. You find that motor vehicles would stop to allow pedestrian, and the motorcycle rider will just come and drive past by. Now, that is very dangerous for them and other road users, Wendy.
So, what challenges do other road users face as regards to such behavior on the road by motorbike riders and cyclists?
Okay.
And what measures can be put in place?
Okay, starting with
by your institution, of course, and his.
Starting with measures, I think there is need for more sensitization, Wamba. We need to sensitize these motorcycle riders and cyclists, not just motorcycle riders, but also cyclists as well, because they are part of traffic. And so the whole Road Traffic Act number 11 of 2002 applies to them as well. It's interesting to note, Wamba, that when we look at the Act, Section 200 of the Act also says cyclists can be charged for various offenses, starting with Section 154 Wamba, which talks about careless driving. Even a cyclist can be charged when you cycle in a manner without reasonable consideration to other road users. You can be charged. You can also be charged as a cyclist for an offense like dangerous cycling. That is when you cycle your bicycle, Wamba, in a manner dangerous to yourself and other road users, considering the speed, nature and condition of the road, traffic present or reasonably expected to be present. So even cyclists can be charged for a lot of offenses. So strategies, we need to sensitize them. We need a lot of sensitization so that cyclists and motorcycle riders know that they are also subject to the same laws and regulations. It becomes difficult for people that are, for lack of a better word, I would say, physically challenged to cross the road, because most of these motorcycle riders don't want to give them chance at pedestrian crossing. Most of these motorcycle riders don't want to stop at traffic lights. Now, the other biggest problem is that some of the motorcycle riders are riding on pedestrian footpath. Now, a pedestrian footpath is for pedestrians to walk on. If a motorcycle rider rides on a pedestrian footpath, where are the pedestrians going to walk from? That is a question they should ask themselves. So it's important that they stick to riding on the road so that they don't have, other people don't have challenges accessing the road, because where they're supposed to walk from, that's why a motorcycle rider is riding on a pedestrian footpath.
Mr. Habalu, are there specific training and licensing requirements for motorists, for motorbike riders and cyclists in Zambia?
Yes, it's actually definitive by law, because for you to ride a motorbike, you need to be licensed, meaning you need to be examined. So you go through to the RTSA, you go through the theory, what is called the theory test. They assess. If you don't pass, they give you another chance. If you pass, you now go to the next stage, which is the practical. Practical, they are going to take you through the right way, ride around, and they see if they are satisfied that now you are supposed to be given a license. they're going to license you. Let me just pick up from where my brother left it. It is twofold. It is a problem of the riders themselves. It's also the problem of the owners of those motorbikes. When you are buying that motorbike and you want to use it for business, ensure that you provide that person you're going to be using with the necessary requirements. Check for the validity of the driver's license. Check that your motor vehicle is well registered. It has road tax. It has also got a fitness. It is the responsibility of the owner to ensure that you provide protective gear if you're going to use it for business. After all, you are going to be earning an income from that. So why would you want to expose your employee to any road safety hazards or injuries? So what we have done as an agency is we are conducting a sensitization to both the riders and the suppliers of these motorbikes. We've got selected days in which we go and have discussions. Why are we having discussions? The idea is because there's an impending operation targeting motorbikes. We do not want that when we swing into action together with our stakeholders and colleagues from the Zambia police, anyone should say, me, I didn't know. You know that there is no excuse for such like that ignorance. You can't claim ignorance at law. It is presumed that we should know. So that is what is going to happen. We are having these discussions. We are engaging them. It might look like it is just one of those things, in business as usual. But when we start to enforce the law, it will be bad. But we thought, look, we are a community. Let's talk to each other before we start enforcing. People might have concerns. Let's listen to them. Others have said that, yes, where we work from, we have made them be aware, the owners, that we need these things. But they think we're demanding too much. So we have made it upon them, you know. We have implored the owners of those motorbikes. You have got a responsibility to provide safety gear to these people who are using your motorbikes.
We are discussing road safety in Zambia. We now take a break. We'll be back shortly.
Welcome to Zambia News and Information Services, your media and communication hub. Need a professional space? We offer state-of-the-art studio hire for sound and film productions. Experience comprehensive news coverage and in-depth features that bring you closer to the stories that matter. Capture your moments with our professional photography services, perfect for events, portraits, and more. Looking for eye-catching visuals? Our graphic art and design team will elevate your brand with custom solutions. Host your next event with confidence. We provide high-quality conference systems and public address systems tailored to your needs. Contact us today at zanismarketing@gmail.com or call or WhatsApp 0773 809 040. Zanis TV, the People's Channel. Attention all business owners in Zambia. Are you looking to boost your brand's visibility and reach a wider audience? Look no further than Zanis TV, your ultimate platform for advertising success. With coverage spanning every corner of Zambia, we bring your message to the masses. From the latest news updates to captivating entertainment and everything in between, Zanis TV offers a whole spectrum of content. Don't miss out on this golden opportunity. Get in touch with our marketing team on 0773 809040 or 0773 809020, or you can email zanismarketing@gmail.com or zanis.marketing@zanis.gov.za. Join us on Topstar Channel 6 DTT and Channel 458 DTH and let your business shine like never before. Let's take your brand to new heights with Zanis TV. Zanis TV, the People's Channel.
Welcome back on Arrive Alive program. We are talking about road safety in Zambia. I'm joined in the studio by Mr. Cholo Mpande and Mr. Roy Habalu from RATSA. Mr. Mpande, what strategies or initiatives can help motorbike riders and cyclists to allow them, you know, to follow traffic laws?
Okay, Omba, when we come to driving, there's what is known as defensive driving, okay, where drivers are taken to a more extensive training, because defensive driving entails that you anticipate dangers as you drive. So I think another strategy that can be used is enforcing defensive riding now, where riders are taught what defensive riding is. They will be able to anticipate dangers, unlike what happens now, that riders literally ride like they have 9 lives, Okay, they need to be taught that they are not cats, Wamba. Only cats have 9 lives. They are human beings with families, and they need to ride responsibly. So the first one, obviously, it has to be with defensive riding. Let these riders go through defensive riding. They're going to be taught how to anticipate dangers, okay, before even a road traffic crash could happen. Some of these road traffic crashes, Wamba, are due to carelessness on the part of these motorcycle riders or excitement. I think because most of them are doing courier business, and then they are rushing to deliver these parcels. They want to do so many trips. But riders also must be taught that courtesy and patience is a virtue that a rider must have. When you look at the highway code, it says exercise patience and hang back. But most of these riders don't do that. So we need to teach them to exercise patience. We need to teach them to have courtesy to other road users. We need to teach them defensive riding techniques. When we do that, you're going to see also a reduction in these road traffic crashes involving riders, Wamba.
Mr. Habalu, as you are aware, our roads in Zambia do not have designated lanes for or provisions for motorbike riders and cyclists. So how do they navigate to stay safe?
Well, thank you very much. Especially, there's a growing concern over these people who are doing courier business. You know, first of all, let it be known that the people that license the courier business is not RATSA. RATSA just concentrates on the road safety. That is the role of ZICTA. Okay? So, there's no provision for people to be riding on the side. We haven't reached that level as a country. So, they are also obliged to follow the rules that motor vehicles abide to. So, if it tells you that it's a red light, you must stop. Simply because you are driving a small vessel doesn't mean that you can meander around. It is extremely dangerous. Someone may not see you. I've seen in situations where you are parked, where you're supposed to park, maybe you're the first one in that lane approaching the traffic light, and the guy just comes in front of you with no courtesy. Vehicles have different pickups. They pick up at different times, okay? And most motorbikes are not in perfect condition. How they find themselves on the road, nobody knows. And that's why we're going to do that enforcement. The only thing that is going to save them is observe all traffic rules and laws. Abide by all the regulations. Then you're going to be very safe. I have a friend of mine who was joking to me the other day, was saying, are you aware that you are not supposed to leave food for somebody who is riding? Because there's no guarantee that they will be back. They can die in an accident at any time. And he gave me a breakdown of why he was speaking like that. To some extent, he was right. Because there's a lot of carelessness. Let us follow. If it says, if you know that your motorbike is slow, why are you supposed to be in the lane? Be in the lane where you're supposed to be, okay? Also look out, use those mirrors. They've got those mirrors. Just be courteous, okay? Be courteous to other road users. Observe speed limits. It's the same limits that apply. So you're also considered as a motorist. Once you do that, then you're safe and you're good to go. It's as simple as that. Why we're having these problems is just bad road user behavior. Simple. Remember, road safety is a shared responsibility. Someone using a wheelbarrow or pushing a wheelbarrow has a right to use that road. A motorist, pedestrians, school children, everybody. That's why it's called a shared responsibility. Once we all become responsible, we are going to reduce the number of road traffic accidents. We can't continue recording 20,000 deaths in a year. It's too much. We can't. We need to come to a point where we are going to have maybe 0, if possible. And how can this be done? It's by change of behavior. We just abide. Sometimes you are a rider. You are talking on the phone. Can you imagine the risk? So it's just the behavior that we need to deal with here.
Any addition, Mr. Mpando?
Yes, in addition to what Roy has said, especially when talking on the phone, Section 169, OMBA, only exempts vehicles like a RATSA vehicle, a police vehicle, an ambulance. These are emergency vehicles, a fire engine, to use a phone whilst in execution of the duty, by the way, not when I'm going on, just because I'm using a fire engine, I drive a fire engine, I'm going home, and I'm speaking on the phone. No, that is wrong. But in execution of duties, these vehicles are exempted. Now, motorcycle riders are not exempted. So they must not use a phone while it's riding. Using a phone while it's riding is a very destructive thing, okay? Because your attention is going to be divided. you want to ride, and then again you want to talk on the phone. So you're going to have...
We see that with the younger drivers.
You're going to have divided attention, and when you have divided attention, you become a danger to yourself and to other road choosers. Now, we've spoken so much about motorcycle riders. There is also something that cyclists can do to enhance their safety as well on the road. Cyclists, whenever they are cycling, must not cycle side by side. They must cycle in a straight line, okay? You must follow another cyclist at the back, not side by side. It's also important to note that cyclists must also wear reflective jackets as well. It's important that they are visible. So it's not just motorcycle riders, but cyclists as well must wear a reflective jacket when they're cycling, and they must not cycle side by side, but they must follow each other. It's imperative that cyclists as well make sure that their bicycles are in good condition, their tires. Do they have a bell? You need to warn others of your presence there by using your bell. Do they have reflectors? Cyclists as well can enhance their safety by having a white reflector in front and a red reflector at the back. When they do that, they are going to enhance their visibility and their safety on the road. As a cyclist, you must also scan the road. What do I mean by scan the road? Look out for people, all right? Look out for pedestrians. Look out for potholes. There could be a pothole there. As a cyclist, imagine Mumbai, you have not noticed a pothole and you just literally go and hit into a pothole. You are going to fall off. And unfortunately, you might even fall off on the roadside. And the vehicle that is passing there could not be able to stop. So it's important that when you are cycling, you are also scanning the road for children. You are scanning the road for potholes and any other road hazard that could be on that road.
Okay, what challenges, Mr. Mpande, could riders and cyclists be facing in adhering to road safety rules?
All right. I think some of the drivers as well drive Homba in a manner that is very dangerous to themselves and other road users. What I mean by this is that there are drivers that want to bulldoze their way on the road. Drivers must know that even motorcycle riders have got a right to be on the road. There are drivers that don't want a motorcycle rider to be in front of them. When the motorcycle rider is in front of them, instead of them just safely overtaking that motorcycle rider, they start tailgating, following that rider too close, which makes some motorcycle riders panic and move completely off the road to allow that motor vehicle to pass. But motor vehicle drivers should know, Homba, that even motorcycle riders have a right to be on the road. They should not bulldoze their way on the road. So some of the challenges that motorcycle riders have given is that some motor vehicle drivers tend to start hooting at them, that they should move from the road. They should obviously probably ride from the pedestrian footpath and not in the middle of the lane, which is a very, very wrong thing for drivers to do. And some motor bike riders have complained of such behavior by drivers. So it's one of the challenges that they face on the road. Some drivers want to tailgate them. Some drivers want to push them off the road because they feel like, I think motorcycle riders should not be on the road.
Okay, time is not on our side. Mr. Haval, just briefly, what is your word of appeal to motor bike riders and cyclists out there?
Change of behavior. They just need to change behavior. There's nothing more people can do. It's just a mindset that needs to change. Once they change the mindset, I can tell you for a fact that no one can claim that they have not been spoken to by the RTSA. I don't know what the hurry is all about, whether they want to make more trips. I would think that it's better you stick to the speed limits and you protect yourself. You know, you're trying to make ends meet, but it's not a passport to kill yourself. All what we need is change of behavior. People are being spoken to. The highway code is for free. Go to any RATSA station, ask for a highway code. Now it's even better because it has been translated in all the 7 languages. And additionally, they have also printed it in Chinese. It's also in Braille. I do not understand why people want to continue doing that. But also the operators are putting pressure on their employees. So it's an engagement we need to continue having.
Mr. Mpande, in just 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Okay. In 10 seconds, I think I would want to say your safety comes before right of way. Even when you have a right of way, you need to look at your safety. So in 10 seconds, Wamba, I think I want to urge all road users that their safety should come before right of way.
Well, viewers, that note brings us to the end of the program. You have been with me, your host, Wamba Weyeke. I have been discussing road safety in Zambia with Mr. Cholo Impande, Assistant Director, Assistant Director, Traffic Desk, and the Public Relations Officer from RATSA. From me and the entire production team, it's bye for now.
Police officers, yeah, for upholding peace in our nation. We appreciate you, yeah. Police officers, yeah.
We, the Zambia Police Service, shall uphold professionalism, integrity, accountability,